Right now, you are watching a video on a screen. But who exactly is the you that is doing the watching? Your mind is a complex, multi-layered system, and the easiest way to understand it is to imagine it as a grand, bustling theater. By looking at how doctors, how neuroscientists and psychologists, and how philosophers view this theater, we can start to map out how the human mind really works. Before any show can begin, a theater needs electricity. In the medical world, the very first step in understanding a mind is checking the power supply, making sure the brain is awake and responsive. To do this, doctors rely on a standard tool called the Glasgow Coma Scale. It's a structured way to evaluate a person's baseline level of consciousness. This scale checks 3 systems. Can the patient open their eyes? Can they speak? And can they move? Each response gets a score. A 3 indicates deep unconsciousness, while a 15 means the power is fully on and the mind is alert. But just because the power is on doesn't mean the theater is empty. Mere wakefulness doesn't explain the vivid, personal experience of actually being you. To understand that experience, we have to look past the power supply and watch the stage itself. This is what neuroscientists call global workspace theory. Imagine the backstage area of your mind is completely dark. Right now, there are millions of hidden processes working in those shadows, maintaining your balance, detecting the edges of objects, and sorting through sounds, all without you knowing it. Your conscious awareness is a single bright spotlight on the stage. This spotlight is surprisingly narrow. It can only hold a tiny amount of information at once. When one of those hidden processes wins the competition to step into the light, the brain instantly broadcasts that information to every other system in the theater. Using EEG scans, researchers can physically measure this moment. It works like an ignition threshold. The light is either off or it's on. There is no half-conscious middle ground. This global broadcast is the reason your experience feels so unified. Even though dozens of separate systems are working backstage, they all share the same light. If that spotlight is so limited, what hidden forces determine which thoughts actually get to win the stage? Sigmund Freud spent his life exploring this psychological backstage crew. He believed that our conscious decisions are often a compromise between 3 competing forces. First is the id. This is the primitive, instinct-driven part of the crew. It demands immediate pleasure and gratification, with no regard for the rules of the theater. Opposing it is the superego. This is your moral conscience, representing all the rules and standards you've learned from society. It strives for perfection and uses guilt to keep you in line. Finally, there's the ego. Think of this as the rational stage manager. It acts as the negotiator, trying to find a way to satisfy the id's cravings without breaking the superego's rigid rules. Every time you act, you are witnessing the final, negotiated outcome of this invisible battle happening behind the curtain. We've looked at the power switches, the neural spotlight, and the psychological crew. But are we limited to just what happens inside the building? Some ancient traditions suggest our awareness can expand far beyond the standard theater. Practices like transcendental meditation aim to take us outside our usual way of thinking. The goal is to purposefully quiet the noise of the backstage crew. By settling the mind, a person can experience pure, silent awareness. Buddhist philosophy describes this as moving through 9 levels of consciousness. It's like leaving the busy lobby of your 5 senses and going deeper than the ego that manages your daily life, searching for the theater's true foundation. At the peak of this journey, you reach unity consciousness. This is the moment the boundary between you and the rest of the world dissolves. These frameworks suggest that your personal spotlight of awareness isn't isolated at all. Instead, they see your mind as a window that, when fully opened, reveals that you are fundamentally connected to the energy of the entire universe. The human mind is a masterpiece of layers, from the body's power supply to the spotlight of your attention, to the hidden crew driving desires, and finally, the open sky above. Whether you are resisting a craving or marveling at the stars, you are operating this incredible biological machinery. You are the master of the greatest theater ever built. And while you can't control every force backstage, you have the power to choose what to put in your spotlight today.
Do you have any ideas for my next video? Just write them down in the comments below, and I will explain it in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.